Hi, I'm Harris Liu, Koni Ambassador. Before all of this, I'm sure like many of you, I had plenty of events that I was going to take the car to show off. So since most of those have been canceled and we got a lot of free time, I wanted to show you a virtual tour of what we like to call Grandpa Vert. So come with me, let's get it ready. I'll show you how I would prepare for a car show. Now that the car is all prepared, we got the top down, we got the hood open, I got my little display pieces in there. I can go through some of the most frequently asked questions about the car. The first one I get is, what are the wheels? They're 9.5 by 10 staggered 18-inch Motorsport SC replicas. They do have the fake bolts in them, and they're meant to look like the old Sterns from the Saleen SC cars from the 80s. They are discontinued, but Wheel Replicas makes a batch about every 6 months or so that pop up on eBay. One of the big reasons I get questions on them are the custom decals. They make them look a little bit different, make them look a little more like Ferrari wheels because of the yellow accents. One thing that has become popular in the past few years is the one-spoke decal on things like 1552 wheels, and it's become a pretty big trend in the drift industry. I took the time to add the little Lou Creative decal into mine. Worked with a guy named Eric who used to have a Fox body to develop these custom wheel decals, and then added the Sinus built center caps to tie it all together. Sinus built Tom Clark makes a lot of cool accents and things for us Fox body folks. So huge shout out to Tom Clark at Sinus built for helping me add a little bit of personality to these awesome wheels. So those are the wheels. The car is a 1987 Mustang GT Convertible. I've had it since 2015. Bought it for $5,000 and had it for about a week and a half and drove it 20 hours to Texas when I started my first job at Late Model Restoration. So then it kind of became my project car after stopping daily duty. I did the Maximum Motorsports Rollbar, I did the new interior with the black carpet, the Cipher Auto seats, and then messed with the engine bay just a little bit, but for all intents and purposes it's still the 200,000 mile stock motor. It's got BBK shorty headers, it's got a SVE off-road H-pipe, and it's got Flowmasters and dumps. So it sounds pretty good, sounds classic, but it's a great driver. I love driving it to shows, I love cruising in it, and one of the best things I've done was put the Koni Shocks on it. Really woke it up, made it very responsive, very comfortable. Emily and I took it on two 1,000-mile plus road trips this past winter. We went to Florida twice, once for Christmas to visit her grandparents and once to the Daytona 500. I got to drive it on the beach at Daytona and really put it through the paces on those 9-hour road trips down to Florida. So I'd trust this car to hop in it and go anywhere. I love taking it to Mustang Week. I love just driving it. It's fun to get in the wind. And even with the convertible top and the racing seats, it's not an uncomfortable car to deal with. One of the coolest things I've done to the car is add this Cerbinator rear deck lid spoiler. It's kind of a fever dream that I had on Photoshop, and met Matthew Cerbin out here in Charlotte at one of the Fox body meets when I first moved here. We started talking about it. He drew it out on a napkin and seemed that he would be able to make it. And for him being still in college and on a college kid's budget, he started a full business making these rear deck lid spoilers, not only for Fox bodies, but for S197 Mustangs as well. He's got two different heights. This one is the tall blade, and now he's got one with a notch in it that's kind of more NASCAR Xfinity style. But I really wanted to tie in a little bit of motorsport, a little bit of cruiser with this car, so the Cerbinator rear spoiler really helped me do that and added to the sleek look and motorsport styling of Grandpa Vert. One thing that rarely gets seen or talked about on this car is the trunk. It's a convertible. It's got a small trunk. The top takes up a lot of it. But I have managed to put a 13.5-inch shallow mount JL Audio sub in here with a 1,000-watt amp. gives a little bit of bump in the trunk and allows the audio system to overcome the wind noise of a convertible. And it also sounds pretty good when you play Ice Ice Baby. One of the other questions I get a lot is about this roll bar. It is the 4-point roll bar from Maximum Motorsports, and thanks to my buddy Manir, we added the custom gussets with my Lou Creative logo in it. We color matched it to my top boot cover, and really just kind of tied in the Motorsport look with the seats, the Cipher Auto seats. And it gives me a little bit of added safety. Seen a few convertible rollovers, and this top really doesn't protect you very much. But thankfully, this 4-point Maximum Motorsports roll bar will keep me safe in the event of a rollover, which, knock on wood, I hope doesn't happen. Now that we're inside, I'm sitting in these comfortable Cipher Auto seats. I've got my red and black and white interior. This car originally came with red carpet, but we tore the interior out, put some sound deadening in the bottom, added the black carpet, and did black plastic from the dash down. So I still have the red and the black above, but underneath is all black carpet with my white seats. The car originally came with white seats. It had the sport seats with the bolsters, but the upholstery really needed replacing. I didn't really like the big bulky stock seats. So I found these racing style recliners and threw them in, re-dyed the rear seat and re-dyed the rear plastic. A lot can be done with a can of SEM interior dye, and just to spice things up a bit, I do have the cup holder console with my retro crystal Pepsi, and other things to add to my little Carshow setup is the retro meet trophy from the second retro meet actually, and then I have a classic LL Cool J cassette along with the retro meet cassette from the 2018 retro meet. So just to add a few things in there, I was really prepared to go to Radwood, South Carolina. Really wanted to be there. I was going to be in my full Vanilla Ice get-up, which goes perfectly with this car, and unfortunately couldn't make it. But when Radwood returns, when they reschedule, I'll be there full Vanilla Ice with my cassettes, with my 1987 Ford Mustang brochure, and we'll be there to rock out. One cool piece of Koni retro memorabilia that I found that was going to go to Radwood with us was this Koni Shocks SVO brochure, which goes through and explains how to adjust your shocks and how they work, which would have come standard in all Ford Mustang SVOs back in the 80s. And I also found these retro Koni logo adjusters that have the interchangeable knobs to go on your front or rear shocks. So if you can see here, I've got my Koni adjustables with my UPR caster camber plates, and that's what helps Grandpa ride so smooth. We talked a little before about the exhaust setup and how it's Flowmasters, dumps, and an off-road H-pipe with BBK shorty headers. Sounds pretty good. Let's hear it. Well, thanks for coming to our virtual car show. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a bit about Grandpa Vert. Hope it gave you something to do as you're sitting on the couch, eating snacks, doing whatever. Huge thanks to Koni. Huge thanks to Mustang Week, Matt Servin at Cerbinator, Tom Clark at Sinners Built, Sharada, UPR, everybody that's helped me build this car and get it to where it is. I really look forward to getting back out there, getting to some real car shows, getting to do real events with you guys. So hopefully to see you soon. And until then, enjoy yourself.
Did you win?
The car show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just me.
It's good.
Calypso too, but it's halfway torn apart.